Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Donga, and you're listening to Boom Radio. Boom Radio. Keep listening. Don't touch it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the BoomBar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. There are going to be quite a number of things we're going to be talking about today. The long-awaited cabinet reshuffle that a lot of people have been going on about with President Tinubu's administration looks like it is beginning. So that we're going to be talking about a lot. Also, the federal government issues with Binance seems to have stopped. I hope. Anyway, also, there's a ban on export of cooking gas. So looking at that in a couple of days, I think there's a plan that the idea is to drop the price and all that. So we will see where all this gist is going to as the days go by. So, but this morning, welcome to the bar. My name is Dolupo, and as usual, I'm not at the bar together. Please welcome with me, Sola Rogers.
Is everything okay though?
Yes, everything is okay. Please, could you continue? I need to continue doing something. I need to change something quickly.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that there's something wrong somewhere. Because at some point she's like, welcome. Then she said, welcome again. Then she said that she's at the bar alone. Then she now said, I'm there.
I didn't see at the bar alone.
Just listen to yourself. Anyways, yes, it's happening right here, right now in Nigeria. I think, I can't remember who it was that was asking yesterday. A member of the bar had asked us directly when the reshuffle would be. And we said, well, the president is back now, so he has no excuses anymore, no choice. I'm sure one of the reasons why he went away was to come back with a bold face and say, you know what, you're out. You're fired.
You are fired.
All of that.
You're fired.
So it has started.
Y'all all fired.
It has started. It's not exactly what a lot of people have been clamoring for. When I say a lot of people, I mean, the feedback on social media, everybody's talking about who should go and who should stay. But it has started first with restructuring existing ministries and scrapping one or two or merging one or two of them. And already Nigerians have started misconstruing it. It's our job to shed light on these things. So we're going to talk about that now.
Okay, so with that in mind, according to Nigeria's President Tinubu, he actually works for President Tinubu. It's safe to say that the man works for President Tinubu alone. He had put out a statement earlier today about a bit of restructuring. What's today? Wednesday. We don't even know which day do they even do this FEC.
It doesn't matter actually. He has already shown us
it is that
it doesn't matter as long as they meet.
Anyway, so according to him, it said that according to the president and the Federal Executive Council, they had made a bit of changes to the council itself. The first one that I think that popped up is that I think they were scrapping the Ministry of Niger Delta, the Niger Delta Ministry, because there are a lot more ministries now. They're saying that there will now be a Ministry of Regional Development that would oversee all the regional development commissions. There's the Niger Delta Commission, the Northwest Development Commission, the Southwest Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission. I'm sorry, isn't there supposed to be a Southeast?
Yeah,
or it has not been.
It's been proposed already. It's already being
I thought
worked
it was
on.
already.
It's already been worked on anyway. So yes, it's going to come into fruition.
Yeah. So now the first one now is that there is no longer Niger Delta Ministry. Now, doesn't that now? Because now I'm guessing there's a Niger Delta. Okay, there's no Niger Delta minister yet. I'm not sure there was ever one. At least in this administration. So that just brings up a lot of other things. Another very interesting one, and I'm hoping that as I break these ones down, you now give us a bit of explanation. Also, the very interesting one now is that there is not going to be a Ministry of Sports Development anymore. They're now saying that role will be taken over by the National Sports Commission. Also, the Federal Executive Council has also approved the merger of the Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy. So I'm guessing it will now be Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Economy.
Yeah, so a whole lot of restructuring has started, like we said. Let me start from a pessimistic message that I saw from someone on social media. He said, oh, this is a distraction, that they're basically trying to distract them, from, what is wrong with the Nigerian economy. There's actually people who think like that, and of course it's our job to always bring everything to fore, at least not everything, a lot of things to fore. So that's what it is about that's one comment. But on the flip side, a lot of Nigerians have been clamoring for a cabinet reshuffle, because after 1 year of the cabinet, people have been doing their own independent assessment of these ministers. A lot of them are perceived to be, doing nothing, and some are believed to be okay, and some are believed to be exceptional. The exceptional names that would come on your list, I'm sure a lot of people would not agree that up to 5 ministers would be exceptional. Hardly would you find any group of people, even if we did a random sampling now, would you be able to mention 5 exceptional ministers in this government? But of course, it's up for debate. Some people will tell you 10, or some will tell you more, depending on what they know, and some will tell you none. You get? We've also seen those kind of cases. So that's one of the issues about restructuring. So this is where we are. We already knew, at least from Grapevine, we are Grapevine anyway, sort of, that there was going to be a restructuring when the president comes back from his annual leave, his 2 weeks leave in London. And so he's back and it's on. Let's talk about the Ministry of the Niger Delta.
Okay.
The NDDC already exists, solely dedicated to development of the Niger Delta. Let's not forget also that there's still a pending investigation and report as to the things that are wrong with that contraption called the NDDC. Now, I also don't advocate for it to be scrapped. I believe that it is very useful and that they should continue, to make it work. But of course, it can't continue with the way it is.
Yeah.
With all the alleged,
issues and conversations. Now, my question was that with the NDDC, why was there a need for what's the difference between what the ministry does and what the NDDC does?
Yeah. So at times, some of these things are political. You get. So the Ministry of the Niger Delta and the NDDC are kind of similar, but it is more about bringing governance closer to the people. And again, it was to quell the restiveness in that sector.
I get it, but that's the point of the NDDC.
Okay, so to quell the restiveness in that sector, you give them a lot of what they want. Now, the NDDC is peopled by people from, all the states that are in the Niger Delta. And the idea is that most of the funding that Nigeria gets is actually derived, as at now, is still derived from the south-south part of Nigeria. So you take a fraction of that and pump it back into them through the NDDC. So the NDDC is supposed to go in depth beyond what a ministry would, so they're into virtually every aspect of life, from road construction to everything. And that's what they've been doing. But if they had done it effectively, nobody will be looking at how relevant or irrelevant they are as compared to having a ministry. Now, to save us that headache, but before we go to the headache part where we're wondering, okay, why do we have a Ministry of Niger Delta and the NDDC? They now came up, under Buhari's government, they came up with the Northeast Development Commission. Okay. And if there's a Ministry of Niger Delta, if there's a Ministry of Niger Delta, I think I saw something drop.
If you comment.
So if there's a Ministry of Niger Delta, then there should be a Ministry of North
Exactly. That's my question. Like,
so I think
was not my question,
I think the smart thing that this government has done is that now that there's going to be a development commission
looks
in
like
every region is going to
at
have
this
it.
point.
The Southwest is coming up.
Yeah.
Southeast has already been approved. Not Central, I think. So at the end of the day,
looks like it's only North Central that has not come up yet.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what
There's
it
no
means
way.
is that there will be a development commission for every region.
Yeah.
Then there will be a supervising ministry that they are all under.
Which is what I said.
Which makes sense.
My issue was, what was the point of the ministry if the NDDC was there? But before we go on, Peter has a few comments. Wike Tunji Ojo, Tinubu's cousin as per Molebi connection. Keyamo, Bosun, and Wale Adun. That's about it. And yes, the fine girl from foreign. That's about it. Everybody else needs to go home. I think I agree with this, your list. However, I think that the Minister of Health is doing a lot.
Yeah.
I think that he probably should stay. Personally,
Foreign Affairs is not doing badly in my
yeah, that he added Foreign Affairs in that. I said so. I think that.
But Foreign Affairs is Tuga now. Did you read
it said
something?
the fine girl from foreign.
Yeah, it was not.
Okay, no, that's not the Foreign Affairs Minister. I don't know who the fine girl is.
But
Maybe she tell us.
Pate.
Yeah, I think Ali Pate is doing a lot in the Ministry of Health. Personally, too, I think that when you add all those people, everybody else should go home. Yes, I agree with you. He also says, Dolupo, please caution Sola. You are cautioned.
Oh,
What's the difference between NDDC and the Ministry of Niger Delta? Come on, bro. And I agree.
No,
like,
you didn't know where I was going.
I think that it was just duplication from the get. There was no need.
But you saw how I ended it now. Maybe I started with too much of a preamble. What I'm saying is that if you have a NDDC and you still have a Ministry of Niger Delta, then now that you now have an NEDC, because that Northeast,
and then everybody should have.
Then there should be a Ministry of the Northeast too. But that will not make sense. So what this guy has done now, this government has done, is that all the development commissions that are now coming up are definitely going to be under one supervising ministry.
Okay, so
there will be no need for a Niger Delta ministry. Because it never made sense to have a Niger Delta. I said they did it to quell. It was political. It was more political than even infrastructure or development based, because look at it, virtually everybody that has headed the NDDC ends up in one scandal or the other.
So Peterman says, he says Doris Nkiruka Uzo Anike, fine woman in trade and investment.
Trade and investment is not doing badly
as well. Since we're talking about that, I think we're talking about merging and scrapping ministries. Another ministry that looks like is not coming up anytime soon again is the Ministry of Sports. So what they're now saying is that the Ministry of the National Sports Commission, and this reminds me of what happens in Lagos. So Lagos State does not have a Ministry of Sports. There's the same way they have a Ministry of Youth, and so it looks like there's a lot of duplication of the things that happen in Lagos with what is going on with the federal right now. Now, my question again is that, at least as a sports person, you could be able to explain to us a bit. There, to a large extent, there's always been a National Sports Commission. Yeah. What was the point of the National Sports Commission if there is also a Ministry of Sports?
Well, the thing about Nigeria is that we know how to create ministries and parastatals and everything. And one of the things that the Orasanye report was supposed to address was to streamline some of these things, you get.
Yeah.
And the Sports Commission, if properly structured and organized well, would not require a Ministry of Sports. But of course, we all know.
So for that statement that you made,
yeah,
we know that this it is the Lagos State model. Is the Lagos State model of not having a Ministry of Sports and just Lagos State Sports Commission, is it working?
It is, to a large extent, it is. But you see, in Lagos also, they have not followed the plan to the letter. What they've done is, we scrap the Ministry of Sports, but it's still the same structure. The Lagos State Sports Commission is still the same structure. And but sadly, in Lagos, the chairman of the Sports Commission is not as empowered as a commissioner should be. Do you understand? Even if he attends their FEC or SEC or whatever, is not as empowered.
So who's the person that is empowered to do that?
There's a funny structure in Lagos. They have them reporting to some other commissioner. At least that's what happened in the first 4 years of Sokoto.
Okay,
You
so BT616 has a different comment. It says, I object.
All right.
All the pancake robbing women need to go. Doris, Women Affairs, Humanitarian. Oh, there's no humanitarian minister, actually. And I'm not sure that Better Edu is coming back. It doesn't look like it.
Well, never say never.
True, Sha, but it's about a year, which I think that at this point, it's either you just appoint somebody else, because it doesn't look like she's coming back, really. I don't think it takes
I'm not
that
arguing
long
with that, but I would not put my neck out for politicians in any way.
True, Sha. It says, say no to pancake robbing ministers.
Well, how would the pancake industry grow?
Honestly, I think that
beyond
a lot of the female I think that a lot of female ministers, to be honest, are not doing very great. I know that for quota reasons, and this is where I have issues with quota. Do you understand? The issues with quota, and because you have to put there, because there has to be a quota, and then you give people positions, and they're not. Take for example the female in the Ministry of Youth. I don't know what's happening in that ministry. It's either they're not working or they're not putting out enough information about the things they're doing. The Minister of Women Affairs, that mommy, anytime she's in the news, she just tires me out. Like, she's just always jumping on everything. I honestly don't understand what a lot of things that she does. Take for example, I would rather put with the amount of work like Abia is doing with the Nigerians in diaspora, I'd rather put her in a ministry as a minister. You've seen the kind of things that she does. If you understand, like, you'll be proud of those kind of women and the kind of things that they do. It's not about noise making. Added to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, all the allegations from the current to the former, I think it's a little ridiculous. Okay, Peterman is talking to you again. He says, Shola, can you mandate the Dolupo to hold the women accountable? They're worse than the men. I will not say they're worse than the men. I will say that at times they're probably not as smart. It could also be that they are not as smart, so they get caught. That you can also think about it that way. It's not, there might not be that they are worse. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that. However, BT616 said Minister of Women that wanted to sue WHO.
Exactly. I remember that.
That mommy,
I remember that drama and
that
how
mommy.
How sadly how he played
she
out.
Tires me out.
You know,
I will not even lie.
That time we criticized her heavily for it. I think one of the problems is that she definitely was not ready for any of these ministerial posts. To think that she put her heart into the ring to say she was contesting for president is actually very laughable. When you look back now.
Yeah.
But she's had a chance. And if she survives this reshuffle,
it will be shocking if she does.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it also will show how serious the president is about getting his people to work.
Maybe put Sola like an Abia and put her something.
The female ministers, sadly, we're talking along gender lines. It's so sad. It's true.
They're not pulling their weight.
Seen an outstanding
one
amongst them. But that woman, that trade, she's doing great things. Now, the problem again that some of them have is that they don't have proper media and PR teams, so they don't put. I've been following that lady's successes, and I charge you, if you don't agree with me, go look her up. She's doing a lot of work in that sector, and she's doing things. Now, one of the biggest problems we will always have is that everybody wants results now. So what are the low-hanging fruits and, of course, the high-hanging fruits? So she's doing a lot of work, and for me, she stands out. I can't think of any other one. But ministers, to me, that have done well, Olubunmi Tujojo has covered himself in glory.
Yeah.
He's doing great with the ministry and all the parastatals under him. They're doing very well. Another guy that people don't want to give his flowers, but I will, is Bosun Tijani.
Yes.
People say he hasn't done anything.
I think that there's a lot of
Bosun
work.
Is doing a lot in that ICT. And there are other parastatals under him that have actually stepped up their game.
Yeah,
So
I think another
I'll put him
person
on my list.
that you would probably, a lot of people might not agree with, that I think that might be doing a lot of work, but there's a lot to cover at this point, is the Minister of Power. Funny enough, I'm not a fan of the man, but there's some policies. Take, for example, the idea of taking Band-Aid off subsidy, and we've seen the revolution that has done for the discos. The amount of there are one or two things that
Bayo Adelabu was thrown into the deep end. Like, it was never going to be Minister of Power if there was no falling out with El Rufai.
Yeah.
So Bayo was thrown into the deep end, and he was actually drowning. Live, he was drowning until he learned how to swim very fast.
I agree. I agree.
And so far, so good. Nobody's complaining about him anymore. I remember when he was telling people on how to conserve power in case power is too expensive, that you should turn off your freezers, and people came for him. They said it was a poverty mentality and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you count me as poor or rich, but everybody I know now, almost everybody I know.
Everybody, I've said by force.
They're doing those things that Bayo Adelabu
Did you think that, do you remember that there's a Minister of State for FCT?
Yeah, the woman actually is working in sync with Wike. That's why you won't. Wike is an overbearing person. It's in your face. Now, if she wasn't in sync, because I see them go out for programs together.
That was Deja.
So
Wike.
Our own is covered. What's there to do?
You have your Wike.
It's like you have Messi in your team, and they're asking you to play 8, and Messi is 9. Or Messi is 10, they're asking you to play 4. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the honest truth is...
Or you have Osimhen in your team, you know. All you just need to do is be throwing small passes, you understand? Like, cue in the Osimhen, anti-Osimhen crowd.
Anyway.
So back to what we were actually saying before we started reeling off the name of ministers. The Sports Commission will be brought back now under the structure of a commission. Now, the beauty of sports is that it's divided along 2 lines. Elite sports and grassroots sports. The Sports Commission already has structures in place. There are people there at the regional levels who are on ground. Every stadium that belongs to Nigeria, they have a structure there that is replicated at the federal level, or the federal is replicated at the regional level, and all of that. What we hope to do is to put that information out. But you know, the problem is that it's one thing to follow a plan. It's another thing to execute it properly. Yesterday, we're talking about how Rockefeller and Bezos were going to be building, you know, a 10 megawatts mini power grid in Nigeria and all of that. But guess what? The conclusion was they should do it directly themselves. Because the plan is there. And we are afraid that if they give it to people to run, they might not run it well. So that's the problem with the Sports Commission. Like, if they remove the structure of ministry and they still make John Eno, the current minister, the chairman of the Sports Commission, what has changed? I'm not saying they should remove him. I'm just saying that it will most likely transmute or
at this
become
point,
the chairman of
is
the Sports Commission.
Is that going to be out?
Yeah. So these are the issues. Like, until the Nigerian government and the state governments also realize that sports is big business and it shouldn't be treated the way it's still being treated. I'm not saying that some of these people are not that sound. I'm just saying that they don't know sports. So it takes them 2, 3, 4 years to understand.
To get it. And
by the time they get it, they are gone. They are gone.
Okay,
another person comes and starts to learn again, you know. So, and there are a lot of people in Nigeria who actually understand sports, who studied it, who know it from top to bottom, but they're never found there.
So Peterman says, do we really need a minister of state for the FCT?
Truth is, we don't.
NYSC call indeed. I don't know what that is. Honestly, especially with someone like a Wike, I don't think there's a need. At times, I personally also think that some of these ministers of state are just to fill in a quota. That's what I feel it is.
Yeah. So if you look at defense now, the Minister of State for Defense is even more vocal than the Minister of Defense.
Honestly, it was a few weeks ago it occurred to me that
Matawale
is actually a Minister for State. And I'm like, okay.
He's a junior minister.
He is supposed to be a junior minister.
You know, but it's the one that you hear about or see about the most. Maybe because he was a governor and he's now a minister. Maybe. Or maybe he's just more up and about. Again, health. They have ministers of states. but they are well coordinated.
Yeah,
by party.
I think there's a Tunji Alausa in the mix. Yeah, I think the Ministry of Health are actually not doing badly. Really, honestly, I think they're not doing badly. There's a Minister of Environment. Just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah, So, well, ministers that are done well, or should be doing well, could do better. The Minister of Agri needs to do better. I honestly, the first one, I know that one thing that Nigerians did not realize is I like the off-season farming that they actually brought. It saved us a lot this year, but still not enough. But I would have expected some kind of massive agricultural revolution at the federal level. You get, but I didn't see it. I didn't get it. I didn't feel it. Like, I know that governors have executive powers, like Governor Bago, or look at the governor of Enugu, who launched, I think 2 days ago, a tractor assembly in Enugu State.
It's interesting. Another very interesting person that you would wonder is Dele Alake. Would we say that he's doing okay in Ministry of Solid Minerals?
Look, Solid Minerals was a mess. You get, and still is a mess. In fact, the bulk of Nigeria's problems stems from Ministry of Solid Minerals. And one of the issues they have the most is security. And that's what they are trying to control first. First, you must secure the mines and secure the resources before you can even talk about mining and mining properly. So for me, I'll give him a pass and say, yeah, it still needs to continue in the same ministry, because we tend to make that mistake. When people are getting a hang of it, we yank them off.
Okay, so Ministry of Petroleum. Of course, the minister is the president. We know we cannot sack him. But there are actually two ministers of state. Petroleum Resources, Heineken Dokwoibiri, and Minister of State Gas Resources, Ekwerikwe Ekpo. This is the first time I'm probably calling that person's name, because I'm not sure I've ever seen that person's name in the news. Just wanted to
the fact that Nigeria is gas rich should make Ekwerikwe Ekpo more popular. It should be we're trying this transition from PMS as our mainstay to CNG, which is gas, under his own sub-ministry and everything. But maybe he's just a camera-shy person and he hasn't really talked. Maybe. Because I would have loved a situation where we know him and we know what
he's doing. Exactly.
And his work.
Interestingly, another person that I think that will add to that long list of ministers that should stay where they are, they're doing good work, is the Attorney General of the Federation.
Yeah.
I think the man he knows his work. And I think this is probably officially the first time we're seeing the Attorney General go like really bullish on a lot of things that affect the country.
That's why there are some cases that Nigeria is dropping. Some cases that they inherited, you see that they'll just quietly just pull out of the case and say, you know what, this one is not worth.
Yeah, I think that Lateef Fagbemi is a perfect.
There's a lot of work
fit
that they inherited and they need to restructure.
Yes, I think he's a really perfect fit for that. However, there is a Simon Lalong, Minister of Labour and Employment. Why you? At least, bad as bad, there is a 70,000 minimum wage now. Why are you quiet?
Okay.
Why are you quiet?
To be honest, I think there's a Minister of State for Labour or something, right?
Yes, there's also a Minister of State for Labour as well.
I think that person has even been more visible.
Yeah.
Maybe it's by design. I don't know.
Minister of Education.
But, the Minister of Education started well, he brought a couple of policies.
I think the man is a little
some of them
confused.
are still being debated here and there. But again, when you say that you were going to start a new system, then you backtrack on it after.
I think it's a little confused. The man is a little confused.
But really. I don't know. I'll give him some more time.
Yeah, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. Really, what's the man supposed to do? Anyway, Sha, I don't see. Anyway, last before we go, FCT 001. FCT 001.
Yes, Wike is one of the most visible ministers that President Tinubu has in his cabinet. And I spoke to people in Abuja. We follow the news. We track things. We're we're swayed by infrastructural development.
Yeah.
You know, if you've been to Abuja even once, you feel like Abuja is so nice. It has this, foreign feel to it, especially with the wide roads. But when Wike got there, you'd be like, wait, this is not the same Abuja that we all know.
Yeah.
He's really doing a lot of work, and I must give him kudos for that. Leave the politics, leave the noise and every other thing. I give him kudos for the projects that he has started and finished, and the ones that he has embarked upon again, and his model of also having enough money to pay so that there are no delays is working for him.
It's working. Still talking about Wike quickly. Serap has now threatened the lawsuit against the minister, saying that he needs to withdraw his ultimatum issued to beggars in the FCT, saying that nobody should be criminalized for their socio-economic status.
Okay. Serap is back. Congratulations on your return from your brief hiatus.
Lord.
Have you responded to your other summons? We heard somebody suing you.
Somebody is
Sunday, one day, Bushmeat go catch the hunter. Apparently, you guys can be sued too.
Anyway, talking about ministries and all that, the federal government now has said that from November 1, which is in a couple of days, they're banning the export of cooking gas. That's LPG. It's apparently there's a lot of exportation of that, and they're now saying that the plan is to reduce the cost so that the LPG will be enough for the local market. For the first time, like I said, now this was announced by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, so he has done something now.
Okay. It's, for me, what I call a catch-22. You get? Mm-hmm. It's something that looks like a no-win situation for Nigeria. For Nigeria's Naira to get some verve and grow, we need to do a lot of exports. You get? We must be selling things and earning forex in so that the Naira can grow. But here we are now. Gas is one of our big earners, and LPG is one of that variation of gas. Mm-hmm. But we need it locally also.
Yeah, so what he's saying is that one of the reasons why it's high is the availability of it. We know that demand and supply, there's not enough supply, so it's saying that there has to be enough supply locally first before you export.
That's why I was talking about the catch-22. Nigeria has a target. You need to ramp up your exports, or else your economy will not find its feet. Mm-hmm. And the same product, one of the major products, is gas. But we also need it locally, because if you ramp up exports and we get a lot of forex in, and people cannot afford it locally,
it doesn't make any sense.
The economy too will not get better. That's why I said it was a catch-22. So whatever he said just reinforces what I was trying to say. But however, in the long and short term, there are a lot of things that we can do. We have plenty gas, so we need to look for a way to get the private sector involved to harness the gas and increase, the local gas supply. Then put a cap on exports. I don't think they should completely ban it. Like, once you can maybe satisfy the local market to a large extent, you should put a cap on the exports and all of that. However, these are quick fixes. In the long term, we must look for how to harness our gas production. We must increase it. I remember when Nigeria used to flare gas. Can you just imagine? Destroying the environment, destroying the economy, destroying everything because we didn't have sense and we're flaring gas. Do you understand? So as it stands now, for me, the minister has his work cut out for him. How he's going to do it, that's why he is a minister. But they must get the private sector involved, and we must ramp up local production of gas.
Okay, now quickly, just want to put this out there. The federal government announced dropped all money laundering charges by the EFCC, actually, against Binance executive. So according to them, they're saying that he's just only an employee of Binance, and all charges have been dropped. So
all right, that's some good news there for the Binance executives and all of that. However, one of the things that they most do is to explain to people in clearer terms. Apparently, they have come to the conclusion that the guy is an employee. He's not the owner of the business, so it's not the one that they want to be pressing those charges against. The other one that they could hold, I think that was by maybe a co-owner or something, or whoever it is in short, bottom line is they can't hold this guy because he doesn't own the company, he just works there. And you want to ask yourself, didn't they know this from the get? Why did you keep it there? It almost looks like there's been some kind of diplomatic negotiations that has been done, at a higher level. And they was like, don't worry, we'll let him go. And we're going to get these other guys, or we'll have them pay a fine or whatever. But for me, it doesn't look like they're just going to drop the case like that if there was no
prearranged,
which is like some out-of-court settlement.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, just wanted to put that out there. Now, Nigerian court has also found a crypto firm for over unlicensed USDT Naira trading. Now, moving on from that, we're still talking about ministries. As the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has now given Julius Berger 7 days to act on the Abuja-Kaduna Road. However, it's not more like act. It's more like they are proposing an amount of money that this is how much they can pay. And they are saying Julius Berger to take that. They're giving them 7 days, or they find somebody else to do the job.
Yeah, in business, we call it a take it or leave it offer. That's what they're telling Julius Berger. So if Berger feels like, we know to care, well, there are other construction companies out there that might take the offer. Yeah. I'm assuming that the offer must be like, by industry standards, something good enough for them to be offering it to Berger as a cost.
So they're asking them to accept 740.79 billion naira for the completion of the 82-kilometer section 2 of the Abuja-Kaduna Road, or risk termination of the contract.
Me, I don't know anything about construction, but
that's a lot of money.
Well, we will do it. We will do a good job. We will do a good job.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
Now let's move on from that. Let's talk a bit about new minimum wages. So that looks like Abia State has approved 70,000 as minimum wage. Kebbi has approved 75,000 as minimum wage, and Akwa Ibom just a few minutes ago has approved 80,000. We have another 80 in the mix. Drop roll, please. It's an all-producing state, so they should be able to afford it.
All right.
I'm just saying. But anyway, I like this verve from the governors because...
You said another 80. Who is the person?
Akwa Ibom.
Okay. I thought there was another one after that one.
No. After Lagos State. Their daddy has set the benchmark. If I hear anybody pass 85. Anyway, just so basically the idea is that I like this verve. I think I'm going to look for I'll try and compile all the states that have answered, the ones that have, because the funny thing is that this announcement here and there, it seems to get drowned, and then some people will just get lost in this mix, and you actually seem to forget that there are some states that just might still be paying 18,000 naira.
Yeah, again,
so it's time to call out some of these states.
It's actually a good thing that Abia State has come up with the announcement that they will be paying 70,000 naira. It's been under debate for a while because they didn't pay the previous
30,000.
Yeah, and again, people who work there, a few people have been complaining about delays in their payments and pensioners and all of that. So this is a welcome. We must say kudos to the governor for agreeing to pay this minimum wage at 70,000 naira. If we had that across board, across Nigeria, as minimum, in every state, minimum, things can start to change. Again, remember, for those of you who are quick to say, what's 70K? Remember that 70K is level 1. And most people are not on level 1.
Don't say most. Nobody is on level 1. Nobody.
Yet. We're talking level 4 and above and all of that. And beyond that, they will pay their share of taxes. And, of course, they would also patronize local markets. So this is a win-win for Nigeria. I'm happy that Abia in particular is going to pay this money. It's a very, very joyful thing to hear.
Okay, so the EFCC has launched a cybercrime rapid response center. Now, interestingly, the police have announced that they are starting an investigation as a core member has been declared missing in Rivers State.
This is. I hope this turns out well, because this person has been missing for quite a while now.
Yeah, since 14th of October.
Yeah, so it's almost 10 days of the person been missing. I hope the person is fine. I hope this core member is fine. I hope that they come home safe, because when people go missing for more than a day or two, you start to fear, but I really pray that this person, turns up alive.
Okay, so I'm talking about the police. Now, this police, when I'm saying police, is not just Nigeria police anymore, and the news has now dropped about how the police are in the process of dismantling a Nigerian prostitution ring in Cyprus.
Yeah. Cyprus again.
Yes.
Cyprus, I don't know why virtually every news that comes out of Cyprus, especially when it concerns Nigerians, is about students going to schools that are not recognized by anybody, gang wars, now prostitution rings and all of that. It's just not a good look. I don't know why this always happens.
Okay, now there's just news that's just dropping right now that President Tinubu has sacked 5 of his ministers. I would we'll check exactly who those 5 ministers are, and I will be back with more news on that.
She's saying it like we're going off air. We're still here.
I'm just saying, like, we'll be back with more news on that, but it looks like it's official. 5 ministers have been sacked. Anyway, moving on. Don't worry. I'm sure that a lot of people would be looking for that list. I hope some people are some people be praying now if their names are not on the list. Now moving on from that quickly. Sadly, there's a bit of tropical storm Trami that have left 7 dead at the Philippines. Peterman says only 5. Okay, at the moment.
I'm sure it's in phases and batches.
You people.
Yeah, we expect more than 5 to
Jesus,
go.
Yeah. That's some people's jobs.
But
you people should be coming down.
Some people's jobs, but some people's lives don't matter, Abi. The lives of Nigerians that they are supervising does not matter. It's their jobs that matter.
You people are mean, no. You people are mean in this life.
Kelechuku, clap for yourself.
You people are mean
well
in
done.
This life. You people should be coming down little by little. Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there, but definitely would that list has not popped up yet, but yes, it is actually official. 5 of them have gone. So Peter says it phases Ipele in Yoruba. Yeah. But I honestly think that if more than 5 of his ministers are sacked, doesn't it also show that the people that he appointed there, doesn't that look bad on him?
No, it doesn't.
The people that he appointed could not get the job done.
In no way does it look bad on him. This is one of the things that we've discussed in the past. You don't have a free hand to pick all the people you want. There is a constitution that says that you must pick at least one person from each state.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And you now pick that one person, you must find the right fit, the right ministry for the person to slot into. Do you get?
Okay.
So it's not, if it was not about national character and the constitution, then you can say, oh, you are the free. Look, at the state level, they don't really have to follow any structure. I don't think they say you must pick someone from every local government in your state. I don't think so. I've not heard such. If it exists, please educate me. I don't mind. But at the federal level, that alone is a problem. It is a problem because you must look for the right person. And again, politics must come to bear. You must also look at the political arrangement, the gender lines, and a lot of things to arrive at that blend of X number of ministers. So it's not a bad look on you because he already told them. He told them on one occasion that if you don't perform, he even employed a senior prefect for them. You know, they have a senior prefect. They have a lady whose job is to actually monitor them. So what are we talking about? Look, if you get a chance like this at the national level, and for 1 year you don't use it, and you expect to continue, then you are not ready for what you got the job for in the first place. Okay,
alrighty. So, like the gist, moving forward, let's just move forward quickly from that. Just what I put out there. 30 have been injured in protests demanding the Bangladeshi president to resign. Also, now, moving on from that, there's just this one. I just wanted to move on so that we can talk about a few things. First things first, under 17 Women's World Cup, Nigeria's Flamingos. I think that they deserve their own time. After winning all their 3 group games, scoring 9 goals in 3 games, one of the players is the highest goal scorer in the tournament at the moment. What are their chances going into the quarterfinals against United States?
It's a tough one. It's a very tough one for them coming up against the U.S. They have one of the best football structures when it comes to women football in the world. Mm-hmm. The USA. In fact, at some point in America, soccer was referred to as a women's sport because they were more into the NFL and basketball and baseball, you know. So I think that has worked well for the US. If you look at their national team, the senior national team, and trickling down, they always at the top, always doing very well, you know. So that's why it's a tough one for Nigeria. Now, at the last World Cup, Nigeria didn't do badly at all. So hopefully we can build on that.
Yeah,
but it's not the same team, you know. Because after this Junior World Cup, the players are expected to graduate to the next level.
But they're fantastic. This team is actually not doing bad at all. So Peterman says, like he also says, now the Flamingos actually look their age. That young girl playing 9 looks like a 13-year-old Pekin. And I think it's a fantastic
one of the reasons for that, and we must say kudos to people like Barrister Sheyi Akiwumi, Tunkoka, you know, and the coach, Olowokere Bankole. He comes from the Lagos State Sports, you know, Football Federation, the LSFA. And they started something like this when Sheyi was chairman, Sheyi Akiwumi was chairman, and they started actually getting data of players, you know. This was their way of phasing out that system of age cheating. And it has worked to a very large extent, especially with the current crop of players that we have in the under-17s and under-20s. So I'm very happy that someone else has also noticed it. It's so glaring to see, especially when you look back in the past. These kids are really young, and it's a good thing because they will play with their mates and they will grow. And they will have long careers as against bringing old people, reducing their ages. 5-10 years, they are done when the people that they played with at under 17 are still playing. You know, so this is a beautiful thing. So beyond the results that they are getting, they are indeed little kids who are doing great for their country and themselves.
So there's a bit of update from the President Tinubu's. So yeah, like we said, it's official. We do not know who yet, but they have sacked 5 ministers. They have reassigned 10 to new ministerial portfolios. He has also appointed 7 new ministers for Senate confirmation. And they have also appointed Shehu Diko as the chairman of the National Sports Commission. Also, Sunday Dare as a special advisor to the president on public communication and orientation, working with the Ministry of Information and National Orientation.
Shehu Diko. So
who's Shehu Diko? Please explain to us.
Shehu Diko used to be in the NFF, and Shehu Diko was in charge of the Nigerian League at some point. He's a progressive-minded person. He's young and vibrant.
So can we say that officially there's maybe someone that is sports person?
At least this is a sports person. Shehu Diko is a sports person. Shehu Diko, there was a time when Manchester United came to play Nigeria with one other team. Those are the kind of things that Shehu Diko was capable of doing way back when. You get so, yeah. A sports person is there now,
Mr.
but
Senator
let's hope that it's going to work. It's probably going to reassign John Eno or sack him.
Okay. So trying to open up something that has to do with this the conversation. But before we get to that quickly, also, so now the police, okay, we have already done that. Now in Lagos State, they're saying that in about a year they have sealed about 352 churches, mosques, and other establishments due to all types of pollution.
Yeah.
Okay, so according to the statement, the list of ministers reassigned to new portfolios as follows. Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko is now the minister. He used to be the Minister of State for Education. Now he's the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs. Dr. Morufu Olatunji Alausa, who used to be the Minister of State for Health, is now the Minister of Education.
Okay.
The barrister Bello Muhammad Goronyo, who was the Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, is now the Minister of State for Works. Honorable Abubakar Momo, Minister of Niger Delta Development, is now the Minister of Regional Development. So I'm guessing that
this ministry has been expanded.
Yes. Okay. Peterman says, praise God, Minister of Education and Affairs are out. They're not out. They're just reassigned. So Minister of State for Steel Development, Uba Maigari Amadu, has now been moved to Minister of State for Regional Development. Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, is now the Minister of State Finance. Senator John Owan Eno, who used to be the Minister of Sports Development, is now the Minister of State Trade and Investment with the industry. Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, who used to be the Minister of State Police Affairs, is now the Minister of Women Affairs.
Iman?
No, Iman. No, she was the Minister of State for Police Affairs.
Okay,
she's now the Minister of Women Affairs. So it's safe to say Mommy Uju Kennedy is out.
Yeah.
Ayodele Olawande, the Minister of State for Youth Development, is now the Minister of Youth Development. Okay. So the minister, that
means that lady is out.
Looks like it. Dr. Salako Isiak, remember I still said that thing. Adeboye, the Minister of State for Environment, is now the Minister of State for Health. Now, ministers to be discharged are as follows. Barrister Uju Ken Ohaneneye, number one, is the Minister of Women Affairs.
Now they are serious.
Wow. Lola Ade John, Minister of Tourism, is out.
Yeah.
Professor Tahir Maman, Minister of Education, is out.
Yeah.
Woo. Abdullahi Mohammed Gwazo, Minister of State for Housing, Urban Development, is out. And Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, Minister of Youth Development, is already out as well.
Yeah. I totally agree with these 5 that are out, especially the Minister of Youth, that Dr. Bill.
Yeah.
She didn't pull her weight.
She didn't do anything.
Young person, arguably the youngest Minister of Sports of Youth ever.
So we have a few ministers. So now there's now a new Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty, Dr. Nenantawe Yiwatalda. That is now the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. So it's safe to say Better is gone. Is officially out. Minister of Labor and Employment is now Muhammadu Megari Dingyadi. Bianca Odinika Odumegu Ojuku is now the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs.
Wow. Dr.
Jumoke Oduwole is now the Minister of Industry, Trade and Development, Trade and Investment. Idi Mukhtar Maiha is now the Minister of Livestock Development. Oh yeah, remember that there's that. Then the Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Minister of State Housing and Urban Development, is So now finally Minister of State Suwaiba Said Ahmad is now the Minister of State for Education.
Okay. All right. you said someone said praise God earlier.
Yes.
That's,
the Minister of so the Minister of Education
Peter
is not
Man, right?
out. He's just moved to another ministry. No, oh, he's out. I think he's out.
Actually.
He's
His
out.
name is on the list
Oh
of
yeah,
people that
Minister
are out.
of the people that are out. Yes, he is actually
out.
He's out. Lola
out.
Adejon, which I think had a very good CV. I would have thought that
CV does not translate to performance.
Then mommy, women affairs. Ah, Jesus.
Glory, hallelujah.
You know the sad part for me on this list? There are actually 3 women that are out.
Yeah. They brought Bianca now. Is she not a woman? They brought more women.
So BT616 says, truth be told, I don't know most of these people. If you don't know anybody,
Bianca.
if you know,
You know Bianca.
I think that the Minister of Women Affairs, the Minister of Youth, those people did not pull their weight at all. They definitely did not pull their weight.
They didn't.
So it's
I think one of the biggest problems we had, and I'm sorry, but under former President Buhari, did this not happen?
Yeah, we didn't see. So maybe it will give people a bit of push.
So those guys didn't feel anything. They were just there. They knew they were guaranteed 8 years, so they did nothing.
So yeah, so the people that
nothing.
were speculating that there's definitely a minister of
we were on point with education. We were on point with
women
youth.
affairs, the youth. It was obvious. It was just pretty obvious at the end of the day.
I was actually hoping that Betta would survive it because, truth be told, she was not indicted. She didn't commit any crime.
For me, why I do not think she was going to come back was that
for so long.
Yes, it had dragged for so long, so it didn't look like there was anything.
She can always be appointed. And it's her birthday in a few days' time. I think it's 3 days or 4 days' time.
Okay, how did you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
Because she has an assistant on social media that posts it.
Oh,
and she has a countdown, and she's actually someone that I put a lot of hope in, that I felt she could do something. That was a perfect ministry for her.
Okay,
I hope she bounces back.
Finally, before we leave, now, please, we need a bit of background or information. There is gist between Very Dark Man and Portable.
Yeah. So Portable, the artist, is done it again. Is always in the news, majorly for the wrong reason. And a lot of people like him. They just like him because he's outspoken and all of that. But I think that Portable needs filter. He's someone that needs to find a way to tone down some of his expressions. So he was performing at Celebration. And Celebration, in fact, I'm surprised that the Kuti family has not said anything about it. They don't condone violence at the shrine. He met one of his former employees. He claims the guy owes him money and that the guy used to take shows on his behalf and never remitted the money to him. He met him at Celebration in the men's toilet and beat the hell out of this guy.
Yeah.
After he had attacked the guy physically, which is a criminal act already. Very Dark Black Man saw the video, talked about it, and asked for the guy's contact and urged the guy to write a petition. I remember that one of his former label boys wrote a petition against him last year, and he was arrested and taken to Abuja-Kaduna, and he came out all contrite and all.
Peterman says, he says, that's weird. I find it strange that Shola knows her birthday.
I do.
Me too.
I know. I'm actually a big fan of Betta Edu. And yes, she has an assistant that we follow each other. So she's been doing a countdown for the past 8 days or thereabout. There's some celebration that they're trying to do for her and all of that. But now that she's free, she can do what she wants to do, So Portable more or less pushed back when Very Dark Black Man told him what he did was wrong. Then he went to invoke the gods. He has a shrine with a Quran somewhere in the background, and he's invoking Ajay and all sorts of things live. Everything. The only thing he has not done live is go to the toilet and show us.
Yeah.
Maybe he has. We've not seen it.
We've just not seen it.
So he's done that, and Very Dark Black Man has responded to him. Now we've seen a video of the guy that he allegedly assaulted, and it wasn't allegedly, but they say we should be saying it because of court. So he allegedly assaulted, and what that basically means is that the guy is actually damaged. The guy is injured, and if the guy writes a petition against him,
it really might.
It's going to happen.
It might really happen. Okay, so I think we have a comment on that. So Peterman says there's a person called very light black man that talks and acts like very dark black man.
Yeah, actually saw him. He's also started. He met very dark black man in Port Harcourt yesterday
I
or
think
thereabout.
some of these things is
And,
joblessness. So
the guy has created work for himself.
anyway, finally, before we go on this new episode of #HaveSense. A lady has been sued about 200 million naira because she took a video of a man that was toasting her and she posted it online.
Yeah, sadly, she's supposed to be a lawyer. She was wearing a lawyer's garb.
And I'm very happy.
And she made a video.
You people will have sense by force. You will have sense by force.
Someone is toasting you. You brought a camera. You're recording.
Yes or no.
And then you record his face and post it on social media.
It's a yes or no matter now. It's not.
The
it's
lawyer
not
that
hard.
the man was begging you to be his lawyer. Now he has gotten another lawyer to sue you.
To sue you, yes. I think that social media had made people not have sense. People will have sense by force. So that's all on this episode of #HaveSense. I will be back again tomorrow to give you another one. Anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, BT616 says, where is Tokumbo?
Chairman.
Our chairman is up to some greater things at the moment.
Tokumbo has abandoned ship. He said the bar was having water and juice.
So he has gone to where the bar has alcohol.
Where they have alcohol.
Anyway, we'll relay your message to him. Don't worry. On that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the BoomBar. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.